Mr. Smeets, who also worked for Spong lawyers, was fired there. Did you have any contact with Mr. Smeets himself?
I'm not going to comment on that question either. No, I don't have any comments on that either. No, sorry about that.
Okay. Can't you share anything with us?
No, I find it very difficult to comment now. At this moment, I don't want to say anything because Mr. Smeets is also in my own case before the disciplinary court.
So, do you have the feeling that you have had a fair trial?
Well, I am a lawyer with 25 years of experience in litigation in many areas of law. And well, if I have to look at how the hearing, the trial went, I think there have been many irregularities. For example, if I look in the verdict, there has been a very selective, one-sided choice of all the available statements and evidence that were brought to the table. And also if I look, for example, at the anonymous sources and maybe the informants that could have had other interests in the matter, that raises many questions. And also if you look at the fact that there was just jurisprudence in the week before the hearing, that a deacon is not allowed to start investigations based on anonymous sources. He has to be more transparent about that, because otherwise as a lawyer you can't defend against the interests, the underlying interests involved, whether it's financial or otherwise.
So you actually have similar complaints as the parents themselves.
Yeah, this is what the parents tell me all the time, and this is also my own experience from working in this domain of law, that this treatment is very similar to the family chambers of the courts. So yeah, this is a very worrying thing. There are now a few cases before the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg in France, because as we know, Norway has many cases that are brought before the European Court. But in the Netherlands, there are hardly any cases, and that has to do a lot with how the lawyers function and the organization of lawyers function here.
You even have been called a conspiracy lawyer.
Yes.
That is quite amazing, huh?
Yes, I think that was triggered some months ago when I made a comment that there might be people involved in the government and in parliament with a background in pedophilia or that type of thing. I do think it's a lot of distraction though, and that's very important to notice, that the obsession of the media with me as a conspiracy thinker drives away the attention of 50,000 children that are taken away from their parents and separated from their families on the basis of false files, usually forged files, where parents are knowingly falsely accused of not being good parents. And then we also have, of course, 400,000 children that are in one way or another under the state supervision. And we only have like 3.9 million children in the Netherlands, so it's an excessive number. And at this moment we are looking at a new development there, that the whole education system is now brought under the Dutch protection services industry. So now I think it's 1 out of 10 children that are under the care of the state. And if this development goes on, it will be 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 3. And well, given the problem of the forged files and the false files and the one-sided files, and the complete lack of any consideration for the parents or for the parental authority, I think that well, 50–60% of the children should be released from this type of interventions, probably by now 80% or more.
Yeah, it's dramatic.
And this type of a commercial twisted system should not have any place in a rule of law, because you can see that the Dutch protection services are very much influenced by perverted financial incentives, and this is all public information. I base myself on the facts and on the reports of, for example, the Parliamentary Commission of Mr. De Winter. He has done extensive research in how bad the violence is, how bad the repression is. He is not a conspiracy thinker. The commission was not a conspiracy commission. So when I make an appeal to this type of information, which is known to the government, which is known to Parliament, I'm very disappointed that this is the only response from the media that I get.
Yeah, it's dreadful.